I have a question, because you guys have like a very specific aesthetic, and I think this might be related to you guys. Do you guys also want to date men within your, I don't know, subgenre or subculture or
pretty much only
aesthetic? Because call me daddy. Thank you for the gifted 50 memberships. Appreciate it. So, I mean, it occurs to me that could the people that are drawn to these subcultures, no offense to you guys who are in it, but could they be more predisposed, or could there be some correlation with, either mental illness or...
Most definitely. Like, I think a lot of like us, like girlies with beautiful princess disorder, or like maybe...
What is that? What is beautiful princess disorder?
BPD. But maybe the bipolar shorties.
Borderline personality disorder, okay. Do you have BPD?
I've never been diagnosed. I have been diagnosed bipolar, but I didn't go to my therapist long enough. I only went in when I was about a 5150 myself, and then I was like, oh, I'm fine the next day.
Growing up in a household with that as like a very large theme of mental illness being a very large theme, just without, I didn't have a choice in it. I really hate the yassification of BPD, it's beautiful princess disorder. Like, no, you need help, and you want to be a member of society that can be good to the people around you. And I think that is something exciting to go into and look into.
I think you're amazingly beautiful, but I do support therapy a lot. It has helped me a ton in my life.
I think I and my friend here would probably support maybe looking into a religion.
I mean, no, I've been to like a few different therapists, but like literally, if I only go when I'm straight in crisis, and then as soon as I'm like, nah, I'm like, it's like
you need that follow through.
Well, no,
I feel like therapy is like.
I think what you need is like a deep sense of inner love, and I think therapy sometimes is absent of that.
Therapists just don't understand.
Exactly.
They literally don't relate. They don't like I'll tell them a story.
Find a good one.
Yeah, you have to find one that suits for you.
I've never had a good time with therapists. I've never found one that it's just basically talk therapy, and it's like I already know what's going on.
Stupid. I can literally call any of my friends
and
do the same thing for free.
I would say just read Proverbs, and maybe some life lessons will come to you. Basically, read books that basically explain.
Books are definitely helpful. No, I do. I do. Actually,
I agree. If not therapy, religion is absolutely amazing.
I've probably had thousands of therapists, thousands, a lot.
And did they help?
Every week I was at a new therapist's office. That just sounds like
a lot of money and a lot of waste of time.
Exactly.
When I can figure this out for myself and find my own outlets and find way more, I don't know, just beneficial things.
But it's not professional.
And it seems like you kind of going about it yourself, you're at a loss. You're like, well, I'm involuntary celibate. I'm not
really.
interact.
Well, that's a lit thing to me. That's not a bad thing to me. You know what I mean?
I think that in your case, it's not that you're about your own thing. It's just that. Once again, as explained, therapists they just give you therapy language. They just give you a therapy brain, but they don't actually give you the solutions or the deep answers that you seek. So
coping skills.
Exactly. So I think in your case,
there
it's
can be
the only
problem as a resolution for sure. But
I think in your case, maybe the thing you're looking for is that sort of unconditional love that cannot come from a man. It can't come from another human being. I think you need something that gives you a deep meaning in life and synthesizes.
That's
Jesus.
That's
yeah. Can I just say also, I didn't find a man until I stopped looking. And I started working on myself. I was looking for years. I was like, I need someone. Like you were saying earlier, I need somebody. Yeah. And I was looking on dating apps constantly. Yeah. And it was finally when I stopped looking, and then my friend said, "Girl, we need to get you a guy." And I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, I just think that I'm just way too impatient. When I want things in life, I don't have any not instant gratification. The opposite of that.
Nothing good comes easy.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't be picky. See, that's the thing. Is literally I was so picky on these dating websites. You cannot be picky. My friend.
But then you're settling. Why would you want to settle?
No, but you're not. You're absolutely not. Let me tell you. My friend told me, pay the $1 to see everybody who likes you, and I had thousands from months of having this app, and she told me just swipe on all of them, and I was like, oh, but no, not this guy. Swipe on him. She was like, swipe on every single one, and I got a guy that is now my boyfriend, who is an amazing guy, brings me flowers every single time we meet, pays for dinner, is just a lovely, amazing guy, and he was one of those guys, and he actually sent me a note from 6 months before that, and I didn't see it because I didn't swipe right on him, and I swiped right on him.
Honestly,
AB Check, thank you for the gifted 20 memberships. Appreciate it. Well, okay, going back to the question at hand. So, are you guys exclusively trying to date people within your subculture?
No.
Yes.
I'm in a relationship.
Well, you're in a but I mean, you're single. You're single. You're single.
I used to, but like they're just like mentally like disabled and like.
Wait, they're what?
They're like, I don't know.
They're mentally
yeah.
disabled. The men.
Or you know what I mean?
The
like,
goth men?
like their mental health isn't good.
Oh,
and,
mentally
like,
unstable.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Disabled is like
Yeah.
cerebral palsy.
They all have
Unstable is like
narcissism.
But yeah, I don't
They
know.
might be
Now I just like look for like normal people and like
normal.
Yeah.
Okay, question for
or
you
like
guys.
people that like,
Are you
don't
heavily
have
tattooed?
style and stuff.
On my legs.
Legs. I think you two are pretty heavily tattooed. Would you prefer a guy who's heavily tattooed?
Yes,
Yes.
I love men with tattoos. I pretty much only date men.
Is
with
it a
tattoos.
deal breaker if a guy doesn't have
No.
tattoos? Like no tattoos?
No.
Choir boy shit.
Yeah, definitely not. I can't date like any normie. Like
You can't date a
know,
normie.
No.
But if you, okay.
They
you're
don't
going,
understand.
You're going
They're
to
so, like,
continuously.
rude and judgmental.
Your
So, like,
rejection of
I'm
normie men is going to
confused,
lead you to continuously date.
It's just like, how do you even talk to them? Like, if I want to talk about like music, art, like any of like the stuff I'm interested in, like
Yeah.
they literally have nothing to say, or they just be like, I just go to work.
I mean, you could introduce.
like.
You could introduce them to your art or your
are
type
pretty
of
lame.
music,
They're
or
lame as
you
hell.
just start listening
I like
to
a guy
fucking.
with drip and swag. If you have no
what's the-
swag, then like honestly,
No
we're
swag?
not gonna like you're not gonna click at all. Like you have to like I don't know. It's a whole like bad boy thing. Like
The bad boy.
Can
thing.
I reject the premise that there is a inherent like issue with the way that people operate?
You got.
in
If you're gonna
subcultures?
speak, please speak into the microphone. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm hiding
I mean,
behind.
we've
like,
told you
4 other
multiple times.
girls.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, bestie. Yeah, I'd like to reject the premise that it's something to do with a subculture because, in fact, the most fetishistic men that have ever interacted with me are considered normie men. They like the idea of having that wild child, that, oh my gosh, I'm going to shock my parents, I'm going to shock my family. Those are the experiences that I've had, and it hasn't made me swear off to anything, but what it has made me do is realize that there's a bigger issue at hand than the subgenre of music that somebody listens to. I think it's a beautiful thing that somebody
I mean,
can
you're
share.
essentially strawmanning my argument, and also, I didn't make the claim that normie men can't be dysfunctional in some way. The point I was trying to make is the people that might be attracted, or might be more likely to participate in certain subcultures. There could very well be, and I haven't researched it, but there very well could be, and it may very well be factually the case, that it does attract certain types of personalities, and perhaps there's a correlation with either past trauma or mental illness.
there is.
I'm not saying they're
Almost all of
bad
us are
people,
mentally
but
ill, and that's how we relate.
I didn't mean to insinuate that they were bad people. She was explaining how in her experience that normies have nothing to offer. They're so boring. And to me, I said, well, that's really interesting because my personal experience as an alternative person who's dressed like this for a number of years and lived an alternative lifestyle is that's been the attitude that I've received in certain situations, being from the southern United States in those environments. And I don't think that's a bad thing to point out. It's just a different experience.
There's a lot of traditional men who do like girls like you because it gives them that sense of I'm saving you, basically.
Yeah.
You just have to let them, is the point.
But I don't want to let them, and I don't want to be with them because, like, I don't know. I just want somebody.
I wouldn't want to feel like a project.
Yeah, like what? I want somebody that's already like that inspires me. Where I'm around them, and they're like, you know, they invite me to cool things. They're connecting me. Like I want to feel confident and prideful in who I'm with. Not like someone I have to like tote around or something. But like in private, I like them or something.
So why do
know?
you see normal people like that way?
What do you mean?
Like you're saying, like you were categorizing like normie people being like way too lame, way too boring.
Oh, like in the past I used to be feral, like a literal feral wild animal. Like I would basically
have you
have
ever
sex with
had like a
anyone that
normal,
moved.
stable relationship?
Yeah, I've had one
Closer to the mic,
that
please.
lasted 4 years. But I mean, stable? Heck no. But that's why it worked because we we were okay with each other's crazy, and in fact, like loved each other for it. You know, like so it just like works so well. Like and
So this was the normal relationship.
I don't know about, okay, maybe it was like in high school I had one, but I don't really count that, like, because I don't know, just compared to the love I felt when I was like with somebody like similar to me, it was so strong, so obsessive, and just
Chaotic, obsessive.
Yes, it was. It
So it's
satisfied
like dopamine addiction.
Yes, it
Yeah.
satisfied a certain, like, you know, like when you have these disorders, you have a certain need and drive in you for risky behaviors. It
It's
would
the comfort that you're finding.
I understand that. I've like experienced it myself.
Yeah.
But I think if you want someone to like actually get you, you have to be willing to like give them the chance, and like actually be willing to open up to them. And even if they may seem like closed-minded or something, if they open up to you as well, which like people normally should in relationships. Yeah. More normally, people grow together in relationships. They come to understand the other, become more like the other, and I think that would be what it sounds like you're looking for.
I feel like also like in a relationship with like a normie, or however you per se call them, like they might not like your aesthetic or whatever, but you have to grow with them anyways. So
it's
why
such a
not
big
teach
part of my
them
life. Like
and
fashion
introduce
is
them
like
to that?
almost like the number one thing. If you're not like, that comes first. Like if you don't like have a certain look, it's honestly, even though that's super shallow, that's just like
The
how
attraction.
it's like on
Value.
Tinder and Hinge. You don't know these people.
Are you
like,
attracted
you know
to
what I mean?
them?
Why do they have to
Yeah. It's
like it
always
too,
the
though? Why
first question.
can't
'Cause there has
you
to
just
be-
have your niche and then they might have their own thing?
I think honestly,
They kind of do like the aesthetic though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
They're like
maybe-
too scared to like do it themselves, you know.
I think maybe it's more so, and correct me if I'm wrong once again, I think because perhaps you might not have a strong understanding of what's going on inside of you, you seek other men who parallel you or mirror you so that you understand yourself. But then there's probably going to come a point where you realize there's severe consequences that come with that that'll make you have to reflect and think, I have to kind of like discipline my emotions to remove myself from these intense situations.
It just like it just like feels impossible sometimes. Like so many times, like what she was saying, how like you make a mistake and you're like, okay, I'm not gonna ever do that again, and literally you're doing it over and over. But so like that's why I just like completely canceled it all out. Like I can't. I don't have this.
111 sextillion, 111 quintillion, 111 quadrillion, 111 trillion, 111 billion, 111 million, 111,111 donated $200. A row train goes stitched, woo woo woo
This is a new one.
woo woo woo
That's cool. That was beautiful.
Nice kindergarten
That was beautiful.
That's what I'm trying to be.
Yeah,
That is literally what I'm trying to be.
Here, bringing it back to Arson Princess here. So you said that you were in a 4-year relationship with a videographer and he ended up getting addicted to perks and then got bone cancer and then had to get his leg amputated.
Yeah.
Did you stay with him through that whole process, or?
I stayed with him for like a year through it, but just like it was just like too much. Like I don't even want to speak hella badly on him just because like he has been through so much. Like he didn't even just get his leg amputated. It was like left amputated and like put on backwards, and then like the foot joint now acts as a knee joint, and like bruh, like that happening to someone is like I don't know, like
It takes a toll.
a
On them
crazy
and
toll.
everyone
So
around
like,
them, for sure.
like he just took all his pain out because he had obviously was going through like so much, and he just like took it out all on me, which was like understandable. But you can only put up with it so long of like someone being like a raging mess every day. So, yeah.
Some more notes here. You said dating is ridiculous to me. Men only bring you down. You're celibate. You mentioned you're in your incel era. You said in your pre-show notes here, men are all narcissists with anger issues and can't be trusted.
Yeah, I like literally.
No.
I don't know. For me, every man I've talked to, like they talk about them in such a way where they'll like say they'll be like, oh, this guy wears fake designer, or this guy, like, I don't know, they'll just like bring down so many others around you, like trying to like build themselves up based off their own, I don't know. And I think it's just like a negative energy to put out.
That is nasty energy, but like I don't like it being generalized onto like
yes,
the
I
whole
do
of
definitely
men.
generalize it, and that's definitely not everyone's experience. That's my own personal experience. And like, I don't know, I've just had like almost all of them be negative to the point where it's just like I completely had to switch up my whole mentality if I didn't want to remain depressed anymore. You know what I mean?
So it's like a cope.
No,
Yeah,
I think
for
it's because
sure.
if a man is critical, if you don't have the tools necessary to like fix whatever they might be criticizing in others, which might reflect in yourself, then it kind of just depresses you and makes you feel bad about yourself because you're like, how?
But I don't even think it's just me either. Like every single story we were talking about lights now, literally every story, it was talking about how a man was fucking up in Subway. You too. Literally every single story.
Well,
I didn't hear
Brian-
one that was like, oh, this was so positive. Like, you know?
I've been in like absolutely amazing relationship for 4 years, and I would do anything for him.
I would,
Like,
like,
I would give
like
the world.
to say that I do think like with all of our styles, it does tend to be the guys that we are attracted to.
Yes.
I will admit that. Yeah.
Like-
All right. A little round of applause for her on that one.
I'm sorry, but like
I'm so
trying to-
We finally answered the
aware of that,
question.
though.
One of you earlier said like you like bad boys. Was it? I think it was you who said that. I mean, is it any surprise? But like, if these are the type of men, if these are the type of men that you find yourself attracted to, bad boys, is it any surprise that eventually down the road they
Our literal bad
act
boy.
act badly and live up to their reputation?
But they're also like a lot of time master manipulators. So like they'll literally like fully convince you, you know, that
So it can't be your fault.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not gonna take not any responsibility or whatever, but a lot of things are my fault too. But also, I don't know, like they'll literally make themselves seem like one way, and then like full 360 like change on you over like a year.